This is Serrano Keith Baldio, and welcome to Texas Justice Review. So I'm going to tell you the update on Kathy Stewart case that she was just sworn in on Monday. Today is Tuesday? Yeah, the 17th of June, 2025. So, and I'm going to tell you how this guy, Michael Snipes, a criminal court judge, was tapped into by Kathy Stewart's people to prosecute me for suing her for fraud and getting a vexatious claim to not sue her. You got to believe, this is unbelievable. So what happened is I sued her for fraud because she lied repeatedly on her application. I mean, it wasn't just one lie. She's got about 5 different lies on her application. Just fill it out nonchalant, send it in, and didn't figure that this publisher was smart enough to go look at it. And I looked at it. And when I discovered the fraud, I immediately filed a notice to sue. I immediately sued. After that, when I got papers together, I sued her. And what happened was they keep the judges. The judges. This must be a very, don't believe this face. This face is a lying face. And people say, oh, she's nice. She's a liar. And I can't get her on the witness stand. I can't seem to get her on the witness stand. The judicial system, you sue somebody, they answer. If they want to answer, you send out service in a different way. They are deemed to answer. They have to show up to court. They have to do a response, and then they go on the witness stand. None of this is happening. They are all helping her dodge this lawsuit. So she 3 times the constable went to her home she said she lives in, couldn't find her there. 4 times the United States Postal Service went to give her a certified return receipt. They couldn't find her there. So either she's lied about living in District 10 or is dodging service. If you're telling the truth, why are you dodging service? Come to court, answer that what I'm saying is a lie. But she has committed criminal activity, and does not want to answer for it. So then they blocked me from suing her. They ran out the time on me. I had to file emergency notices to the judge that the law says these are expedited cases and they must be heard properly and speedily, quickly, and the judge must remove all their other cases and hear the election case. They didn't do that. They ran out the time on me intentionally. And you can see the judge. And she said, if you don't like it, then, you can go sue me, file an appeal. And I did. She waited 5 days, Judge Monica Purdy of the 95th Court. After she did the judgment, after the hearing, she waited 5 days to enter the judgment because she knew I needed a judgment to do an appeal. That's how they're running out the time on me to not get her off the ballot. The appeals court finally got it. The appeals court didn't know what to do with it. And then they said, okay, we're going to deem, because then the judge comes back, Monica Purdy, and says, hey, I do have the right to hear the case. What changed your mind? We were in court. And you waited 5 days to sign the judgment so you can run up more time on me when I have to rush this in court? So anyway, it goes to another judge after the election. They said I can sue, and I did. And this other judge, Emily, her last name is difficult to pronounce. I'm going to say Emily T. of the 298 District Court. She gets the case. She's sitting on it. I served Kathy the same way I served her for Monica Purdy. And then 3 lawyers showed up again. And they're saying, well, she didn't get service, and we're objecting to this, and we're objecting to that. And they started arguing on the case. Here's what the legal system says. Once the party's attorney shows up, they show up representing her in the courtroom. So it's as if Kathy Stewart showed up. So if she's saying that she doesn't get service, how come she's here? So that's when the judge says, because you're representing the merits of the case, I have to deem today's appearance as service deemed. Starting today, you are served. The judge didn't do that. She was like, nah, I'm just going to send it back, and she still has to be served. Are you kidding me? 3 lawyers representing her as herself is in your courtroom. And they showed up because I CC'd them that there's a hearing, and they got to come to the hearing, and they were served. And they did all of that, and the judge saying, yeah, she wasn't served. No, somebody's calling these judges up. This is a Democratic issue. This is an issue for the Democratic Party. and they're calling people up. It has to be. This is not a coincidence. And then when I resued her, as the appeal court said I can do after the election, it goes back to Monica Purdy. The system is supposed to be send it to two different judges. But it went back to Purdy. Luckily, somebody called me and said, hey, you might have some problems with that refiling the case. It might be defamatory. Go back and re-pull it. So I had to pull it. Go back to the law library, looked at it and says, hey, I don't see, this is not defamatory. This is something she really did. So anyway, I had to go refile it the same day. And instead of going back to Purdy now, because it's supposed to be an automatic assignment system, BS. Somebody registering these cases and they put your name. If you see the name Kathy Stewart, send it to this judge, send it to that judge, because we know the chief judge, Ray Wheelis, can take cases off the line and assign them to wherever he needs them to go. So somebody's ringing that system. So it goes to this judge, he's sitting on it. 5 days after Kathy Stewart is in default of the judgment, the judge is supposed to do by law, hear this case in 5 days, and then she has to respond in 7 days, and then she's off the ballot. The judge sat on it. On the 6th day, I went to the clerk and I said, we're beyond this. This is an expedited case by law. No, 6 days, 7 days, 8 days. And finally, the judge sends a written note. He said that she's going to hear it on the 10th day. They are running out the time when I can get Kathy Stewart barred from the fraud should she committed on to be on the ballot. They ran out the time on me. And then Friday, I even did an emergency motion to the judge, back to the judge. No, it's a Thursday night. You have to put a stay on this because it is deemed served if she showed up and the attorneys representing her showed up. And they argued the merits of the case. So what is the problem? Don't care. They ran out the time and she got sworn in instead of me. Because had these judges been doing their jobs or not playing politics, they would have caught this case, look at it and says, Mr. Stewart, you said you were a lawyer, an active lawyer. You're not when you fill out a sworn application. You said you lived in a permanent residency for 41 years. Matter of fact, it just shows here in your own testimony that permanent residency you said is only 2.5 years. You just swore to that. It's supposed to be permanent residency on a consistency basis. It's only 2.5 years. You've got 41 years here. This is false. And Mrs. Stewart, you said from 2023, you were there 41 years, but in 2025, you were there 42 years. It's supposed to be 43. That is incorrect. This was the application. Ms. Stewart, you only started voting in District 10 in 2023 when you ran for office. What is that about? And Ms. Stewart, you've repeatedly lied on this application, and I have to really void your application for City Council, and I can't allow you to be sworn in. And I will address that to the City Council secretary. That is what's supposed to happen. That is the law. That is what judges are supposed to follow, the law. Now let's get to this guy. Kathy Stewart's people, her attorneys, specifically, and they represent her, went to this guy, Judge Michael Snipes, in my divorce, get him to reopen my divorce and file criminal charges against me in my divorce for not selling my home while my case is in the appeals court. Her attorneys, a big law firm, Carrington, Slogan, and something else, Whitney something, Green, showed up. Didn't even register, didn't even file a notice of appeal, just showed up, reopened the case. I failed to follow an vexatious claim. I'm a defendant in the divorce court and I got a vexatious claim. It is in the appeals court. The appeals court is helping them in the lower court. All Democratic Party, all helping each other, all helping Kathy Stewart. And this is where we're at with the Kathy Stewart and why she got sworn in illegally. A white judge, a white council member, all got money and attorneys, and a minority candidate who rightfully won that office. And I can't take it because of what they're doing. And now they're trying to put me in jail and kick me out of my house because I sued her. This is the punishment I have to pay to defend this public. Surrender Keith Baldio, thanks for watching, and I'll follow up on this. Bye for now. Nothing here is legal advice. Just remember that.